Welcome to our house.
So if you saw last week's video, you would have saw the full house tour before we made any renovations. This was immediately after we closed on the house. And so over the past week, we've started our renovation series. So I want to share every detail with you. So this week we started out first with ripping out the floor because our plan is to rip out the floor, paint the ceiling so there's no floor that the paint could get on, and then go back in and put new floors in. And so this week, Jacob and Garrett worked on ripping out all the tile and all the house, and then there was also some laminate flooring, so they ripped all that out. And I know some people are going to say, why'd you rip out the laminate? It looked fine, but we both personally don't like the dark gray floors, and they were put in so poorly, put over old flooring. There were bumps, gaps. They were not put down properly. They weren't waterproof. And they were put in the bathroom, so they had to go. So they did all of that work this week, which was so great. I'm so glad that they can do this together. So after ripping up the tile, they had to go back in with an additional tool and basically smooth out and rip up all the bumps in the concrete that was left, like the mortar or whatever they used to put down tile. So they had to go back out through the entire house basically and smooth out all the concrete. And they also had to put some self-leveling concrete in some cracks and parts that were messed up in the concrete. So this was a very time-consuming process. As you can see, this is Garrett doing one spot of it. Very time-consuming, but it had to be done to make sure the floors were level and prepped for new flooring.
So I just came by the house. My manager let me take the rest of the day off today just because it's a slow day and we're gonna have a busy week. So I came by. If you can hear, the boys are working. I'm going to start painting the cabinets here. Jacob took off all the doors for me, so I'm gonna go in the garage and paint them. So I'm gonna show you if you can hear me. Kind of dark in the garage. I got my paint set up, my cabinets, going to sand them and prime them. We don't have the paint yet. I gotta go buy it, but we already have it picked out. So
here I am just showing more of home updates. Here's Jacob taking off the cabinets for me, showing more how the floors are looking. They basically had the majority of it smoothed out at this point. They were working on finishing smoothing out the concrete this day and sweeping up the last bit of chunks off the ground. We did have to rent a dumpster because obviously it was a lot of debris to be thrown away, tile and all the laminate flooring. So this is them dumping. They used our trash can to fill it full in the house and then use that to drag out to the dumpster. And then here I am just painting away, priming. It's not real paint yet, but priming the kitchen cabinets. It was actually kind of nice. Our garage has 2 fans in it, which actually made it not too hot. I got primer done on the cabinets. Jacob is using the rest of it to paint these. Then while the boys were doing all the work, we actually had our roof being replaced at the same time. They actually got it done in 2 days. So this was a part of our loan. The seller gave us a credit for us to do it ourselves after closing. So that's why we're doing it now after we close on the house, but the cash came from the seller. So that was nice to get done, a brand new roof. Here it is just vacuuming with the shop vac all the dust off the floor. Him and Jacob had to do this all throughout the house. They sweeped it all up and then vacuumed the last bit because if you see here, they are painting parts of the house with this waterproof dry lock, I think is what it's called. Yeah, I can see on the bottle there. Jacob knows more about it, but they did that. I'm pretty sure it's just an additional step with waterproofing. You know, we live in Florida. We did it in the bathrooms, the kitchen especially. We didn't do it all over the house, or they didn't do it all over the house, but they did it in the spots that needed it. They just used the whole 5-gallon bucket. So just an additional step. We also got the Pergo Gold underlayment, which is also a waterproof barrier. So I think we'll be set with waterproof. The floors are also waterproof, but here's just a glimpse of some of the areas they painted. A Jack shirt. Sweet, nice. You're not. We are babysitting Theo now for the evening. We dropped off one more load of flooring. And then now we're watching Theo till like 6-ish. Theo, say hi. Say hi. Okay, I look like a little hoodlum. This is what I look like editing this video. Realized I didn't film an outro, so I wanted to get on here and say all the footage you've seen is where we're at up to date, which is Sunday evening when I'm editing this video. We were going to prep for the paint tomorrow, but we ended up babysitting Theo, which is perfectly fine. I'm glad we got to spend some time with him. So next week, this evening, Jacob and I went down to the Lowe's near us, and we got all the stuff for painting. So we bought a really nice paint sprayer and then all their prepping material and then the actual paint for the kitchen cabinets, which I'll be doing like after work hours. And then tomorrow they start spraying the ceiling in Jacob's office, and then they'll start on the floor at the end of the week. We still have one more batch of flooring to pick up. We had to go to 4 different Lowe's locations all around Jacksonville, which were each like 30 minutes away from each other, 20, 30 minutes away. And we had to go home in between each trip because it was so much wood. Not one single location had enough for the whole house. Honestly, we had to go to 4 different ones. So that sucked, but it was well worth it because we got a really, really good deal. I can show you the exact floor we got. It was an online deal at Lowe's. I've been filming and keeping track of all of the costs of this project. So let me know if you guys would like to see like a total cost breakdown of how much this is costing us. Obviously, Jacob's free labor, but we are paying Garrett his normal hourly rate. But I'll show you guys, I'm not factoring that into it, but I'm going to show you guys like the cost of materials. I'm factoring it for myself, but to show you guys the cost of materials and how long it's taking 2 people to work on it, because it's just been Jacob and Garrett. The only thing I've done is sand and primed the cabinets so far, but they've done everything else. So that's where we're up to on the house at this moment. I will catch you guys up in next week's video with how far we come. I'm hoping that the floors will be done by Friday and cabinets will be done by Friday. So basically everything will be done inside by the weekend. We have a cleaner coming on the 26th. Jacob's grandma's so nice and paying for like a move-in cleaning for us, and then hopefully like after the cleaning we'll be good to like fully move in and be in by the end of September. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. See you next week. Bye.